Mary Lou Hamlin stood in front of county leaders. She was emotional. She was angry. 3 months ago, a fire killed her husband at their home in Gaston County, North Carolina. The firefighters arrived, but there was a problem. No water. The system failed, and now she's demanding change. Mary Lou Hamlin lived a normal life. She was married to Denny Hamlin for more than 50 years. They had built a life together. They had a home near Stanley, North Carolina. They were happy. Then December 28, 2025, changed everything. A fire started in their house. It spread fast. The flames moved through the home quickly. Mary Lou tried to save her husband. She pulled him out of the burning home, but the fire was too strong. Dennis died. He was 75 years old. Their house burned down. Everything was destroyed. Mary Lou survived, but she suffered severe burns trying to save him. The physical pain was terrible. The emotional pain was worse. She lost her husband. She lost their home. She lost 50 years of memories and belongings. On March 25th, Mary Lou went to a Gaston County Board of Commissioners meeting. She stood in front of the board. Her emotions were visible. She wasn't there to complain. She was there to fight for change. She was there to demand that the county do better. She was there for Dennis. She was there for Denny. This wasn't easy. Standing in public, reliving that night, telling county leaders about her dead husband, telling them how her son was suffering without his father. It took courage. It took strength. She told them what happened that night. She told them the truth. She held nothing back. December 28 was one of the saddest days of my life. It was the last time I saw my husband of 52 years when I pulled him out of our burning home. She paused. Her voice grew stronger. She wasn't asking for pity. She was demanding accountability. She was fighting for her son's future. Denny didn't need to carry this burden alone. I didn't understand at the time that the fire trucks were there, but not the water. There was no water to put out my house. That sentence hit hard. That sentence was the problem. The firefighters came. They were ready to fight the fire, but they couldn't because the infrastructure wasn't there, because the county hadn't invested in water systems for rural areas, because the system failed her, because the system failed Denny. Mary Lou's daughter, Lisa Chapman, was there that night. She watched her mother suffer. She watched the house burn. She watched everything fall apart. Lisa described pulling up to the home while it was still on fire. What she saw that night changed her forever. There's nothing worse than pulling up to the house on fire and seeing everybody standing in the road, no water being thrown on the fire. She stood there, watching, helpless. The firefighters were there. They were ready, but they couldn't fight the fire because there was no water. She explained what happened after her mother was pulled to safety, after the shock wore off and reality set in. I thought I was in shock. When she woke up, that was one of the first things she said. There was no water thrown on the house. Lisa understood what her mother realized. The outcome might have been different if water had been available, if the system had been in place, if infrastructure had been a priority. The image stayed with Lisa. Firefighter standing by. A house burning. No water available. That's the system failure exposed. Gaston County is rural. Many homes are far from the city. The fire department covers a lot of ground, but the infrastructure doesn't keep up with demand. In rural areas, water systems are limited. Firefighters depend on hydrants. They depend on water lines. In many places in Gaston County, those don't exist or don't work properly. When Mary Lou's house caught fire, the trucks arrived. The firefighters were there. They knew what to do. But they couldn't do it. They had no water to fight the fire. This isn't a minor problem. This is critical. Firefighters need water. That's basic. That's essential. Without it, they're helpless. They watch. They stand. They see people suffer. But they can't save them. The issue affects fire departments across rural America, departments in small towns, departments in county areas. They all face the same problem. Their water systems can't support fighting fires. The lines are too far away. The pressure is too low. The infrastructure is too old. In some areas, firefighters have to haul water. They fill tanks and drive to the fire. That wastes time. Time is everything when a house is burning. Every minute matters. Every second counts. Mary Lou's house was destroyed because the system wasn't prepared. Not because the firefighters failed. Not because they didn't try. But because the water wasn't there when they needed it. This is what Mary Lou exposed. Not firefighter incompetence. System incompetence. County leaders failing to invest in rural protection. Mary Lou didn't just tell her story for herself. She told it to create change. I am advocating for funding to be included in this year's budget. Training on emergency response. Additional equipment. Staffing. These are the things to help strengthen fire protection in our area. Funds are desperately needed. She was specific. She knew what was needed. Better training, more equipment, more staff, better water infrastructure. She wanted action, not sympathy. Mary Lou ended her speech with a direct message to county leaders. I am hoping by doing this, no other family has to experience what we had to go through. Please, please, please help by including funds for your budget this year. 3 pleases. She wasn't demanding, she was begging. The Gaston County Board of Commissioners listened. They would have to decide. Most people knew Mary Lou Hamlin because she was Denny Hamlin's mother. Denny is one of the biggest names in NASCAR. He's won 61 Cup Series races. That put him in 10th place on NASCAR's all-time wins list. He's competed at the highest level for nearly 2 decades. He's won races. He's challenged for championships. He's built a legendary career. But on December 28, Denny lost his father. Dennis Hamlin was 75 years old. He was the man who got Denny into racing. He taught him everything about cars and competition. He supported every decision Denny made. He was at every milestone. When Denny won his first race, his dad was there celebrating. When he made it to NASCAR, his dad was proud. When he earned his first Cup win, his dad was in the stands. Now, Dennis was gone. The fire took him. The lack of water infrastructure took him. Denny had to live with that reality. Denny was still racing, still competing in the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series, but he was doing it without his father. He recently won at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It was his 61st career victory, a historic achievement. But his dad wasn't there to see it. Mary Lou was fighting to make sure other families didn't lose what they lost. Other NASCAR families, other rural families, everyone who lived in areas where fire protection had been forgotten. The fire department did their job. The firefighters showed up fast. They were trained. They were ready. But the system failed them. The water infrastructure failed. The county budget failed. Rural communities failed to invest in proper fire protection.